Yes, guys, what's going on? Make sure you head over to stretfordpaddock.bigcartel.com. Check out all the new merch. Remember, members get 10% off. Go and do it now. See you later.
Right, we've got a problem, Jay.
Go on, mate. Hit me with it.
Well, for starters, Johnny didn't do the thumbnail I suggested.
Which was?
Me like Jihadi John.
Right, yeah, so that's enough of that. Let's move. No, stay on me.
No,
Thank
the GQ
you.
logo.
Yeah.
Look at me. 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 Put it on the wide. There we go. All right. So, the GQ logo.
Right. Let's move on from that issue and let's focus. The reason that we suggested that, which we didn't do, is because GQ have done an article, haven't they? Gentleman's Quarterly, is it? GQ, I think it's called.
Something along those lines.
And basically, they've got a toddler to smear an article in excrement across the wall, and then they've printed it, masquerading as some sort of ranking system for the best ever Premier League teams. Now, we don't know who's written it because GQ have just labelled it a GQ writer because no one wants to put the name to it.
No one didn't want me crawling through the bushes at 4 a.m.
That's not an exaggeration.
Come outside.
That's actually factual. So we don't know who's written it, but whoever's written it hasn't got a clue about football, the Premier League, or life, to be honest with you, because it's pretty poor, innit? I've been sent this article about 8 times in different groups and different messages from various people, and all of them saying like,
"Have you seen this shit?"
Thank you. And I don't know why I got sent it.
Listen,
I didn't even forward it. I didn't forward it to you because I thought, if I forward it to him, he's gonna lose his fucking mind. But you've seen it now, and you kind of have lost your mind and decided we're gonna have to do something about it.
I've got a text.
Go on, got a text.
So we record the 5 podcast with Rio at about 1:30.
I wondered how long it'd take you to mention the fact that you record a podcast with Rio Ferdinand.
He's just texted us saying, I've got an interview with Diaz and Pep on Monday at 1:15. Do I reply saying, nightmare, wonder what time you'll reschedule with them till?
Quality. Thanks. Hey?
Or I might just put, you're not rescheduling with me for fucking Pep.
Yeah, go on. Tell him you're the more important.
Anyway, so yeah, I got forwarded this hundreds of times.
Yeah.
If you've not read the article, have we put it in the description? Let's put it in the description.
Do you know what? We are doing their bidding, aren't we? We know this before people start saying, well, you're just doing what they want you to do because you're bringing them clicks. We get it, but certain things you just have to address.
Yeah, you have to go see it.
Yeah.
It's car crash writing.
It is.
They've put the unprecedented, never matched treble as the 26th of 28, Jay. Nearly crashed my car.
I mean, that doesn't make sense on any level.
And they've tried to defend it.
Yeah.
Right. They've given you the mask of impartiality and tried to defend it in a couple of ways. One, they've tried to defend it by saying we're taking into account league form only. Right? However, starters, you can't.
That's right.
You can't.
No. And also, I was chatting to Joe about this off camera before we started filming. If it just, like, every league is different for starters. And also, there's different reasons why you play certain teams in a league. In 2001, we won the league with games to spare. So Fergie played a load of children in games. We lost to Derby. We lost to Charlton. Do you know what I mean? At home, I think we lost to Derby.
Winning is winning.
Yeah.
The achievement is the title.
Yeah. And so Fergie wasn't bothered about, let's try and get record points or any of that. He'd already run it in a record quick time. Yeah. He just wanted to give players a chance. So does that make the 2000 team any worse than some of the other teams that you've put above it? No, it doesn't.
And also, when you're, I don't know, winning in Turin on a Wednesday night, it affects how you're doing. Someone mentioned earlier, United rested Ronaldo for a game against Chelsea in 2009, or it might have been, because of a Champions League game the next day, or in the next week. Like, your league form is affected by what you do in the other competitions. So the teams that are able to win multiple trophies, Jay, are therefore the best teams in that thing. If you win the league and you pick up some other trophies alongside it, that's it. Now, what they literally did, and that's Jay's alluded to it, it was a child. What they've literally done, because otherwise, the 2018 United squad is technically better than the 99 squad, is what they're saying. Because it's points. Purely, they've literally gone Premier League, sort by points, do a paragraph on each team.
Here's the list. I know if just quickly, so people get a bit of a reference, because I understand like we know what we're on about. I'm just going to go through the top 5 that they've chosen, not as obviously, then me and you can go through the bones of it. So 5th is Chelsea 2016-17. Ridiculous. One of the most forgettable champions ever. It took me 5 minutes to remember he was actually even the manager. 4th,
wasn't it?
Yeah. 4th is Chelsea 2004-2005. That I don't mind too much, because I think at the time it was record breaking.
Which one was it?
That was 4th. I don't mind that in 4th. That's there or thereabouts, okay? I can live with that.
Hell of a team.
Yeah.
And it retained it.
Yeah, exactly. Great point. We'll get on to. 3rd is Manchester City 2018-2019. That's not the 100 points one. It's the ones after that. Again, that's not as good as the 100 points team, and I don't think it should be anywhere near the top 5 anyway. 2nd is the Scousers. The Scousers who are currently sat, what are they, 6 or something? I don't even know where they are anymore.
This is the Liverpool team that needed rule changes for VAR, introduction of 5 subs, half-time breaks, a 3-month stoppage where everyone was just at home watching Netflix to win a title. That Liverpool team.
That one. That's somehow the second greatest team the Premier League's ever seen.
That bombed out of the FA Cup at the first time of asking, might as well have not even entered the League Cup. That team.
Yeah,
right, okay.
That's it. And then top is City in 2018.
So it's like 4 of the last 5 are from the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's
Seems a bit off.
immature.
Anyway.
It is just so basic. It's just ridiculous.
So here is the not up for debate list that I'm going to tell you is the right answers. And you can disagree if you want.
We
I'll
might
send you my address,
me and you
can
might
come and find
disagree
me.
on the order.
I'm
of
not
some
sure
of
we
these.
will. Here's the
Right,
top 3.
Go on then.
2008 Manchester United side.
It's 3rd.
First.
That's
the greatest Premier League side. And I'll tell you why it's the greatest Premier League
on,
side.
hit me with
It's
it,
the only
brother.
Premier League side that had a Ballon d'Or winner.
Right.
Liverpool kind of had one with Michael Owen,
Well, they didn't win the Premier League though, did they?
but did they?
That's not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
2,
Go on.
it played another English team in a final. Hence, English football was fucking strong at the time.
Yeah.
And that was in a reign of about 8 years where there was English teams in a final every year.
Yeah.
From the Scousers, then Arsenal, then Scousers,
Don't
then
forget as well.
Chelsea.
The semi-finals we played Arsenal in the quarters and the semis.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 were English
Yeah.
teams. That tells you English football's dominant of the time.
Scousers and Chelsea played each other a lot.
It won 3 in a row. It was European champions. It also had an unbelievable defence. That's the greatest Premier League team. Second,
Go on, I'll let you finish yours.
the unprecedented treble. And it's only second because English football at the time, you had Arsenal, and then it was a little bit of a mishmash. Certainly wasn't the mega powerhouses that you had in 08.
Right, okay.
But do not discount the unprecedented nature of the unprecedented treble. Those 2 teams being the only 2 teams that have been European champions and English champions at the same time, despite them Scouse twats posing with both trophies. Like, well, are you saying we didn't win them? It's just like having 2 kids in it. Shut up. Right?
Okay.
Third, 93, 94.
Oh, you're a good lad. You've done well there. Hey, I thought we were going to argue
Because,
about this.
all right, so they didn't win the Champions League.
Don't get me started on
We
that.
had to play Gary Walsh.
Do we have to explain
Yeah, we
this?
do, because
Right.
people are thick.
Because
We
I'm
have to play
sick of this
17-year-old Nicky Butt, Gary Walsh.
Lee Martin
Ryan Giggs was foreign. Our
back in as-
homegrown Mark Hughes was foreign.
Yeah, because it was. If you didn't know, right, there was a 3 foreigner rule, which was eventually deemed illegal, where each club could only have 3 foreigners. So, as Steve just said there, you had Giggs who was playing for Wales. If you played for a different country, you were foreign. It doesn't matter if you're from Swinton. Yeah, you're foreign because you're playing for Wales. You're foreign because you're playing for Scotland, as in the case of Chucky, or you're foreign because you're playing for Ireland, in the case of Roy Keane or Dennis Irwin. Again, Irwin had been in England for years. You're foreign if you're, who else was there? Mark Hughes as well, sorry, yeah. And then you had the actual, legit foreigners like Kanchelskis, Schmeichel, Eric. So, like, there straight away, Kanchelskis, Schmeichel, Eric are 3 of your best players. Yeah. Then you've
Also drop Irwin, Hughes, Giggs.
Keane's your record
Keane.
signing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. And if you look at that season, I'm pretty sure, was it Barcelona got beat 4-0 in the final off AC Milan? AC Milan didn't even fill their 3 foreigner quota. They had 2 because their entire team was like Italy, the national side. So it just benefited them. And then UEFA and I think it might have been the EU or someone went, you can't do this. This is illegal. You can't force clubs.
Similar time as the Bosman rule. I think.
Not to play foreigners because it's just prejudicial. So they got rid of it. But it hurt United massively because our team was very cosmopolitan. It was,
And not only that, I see a lot of Liverpool fans, and you lot need to shut the fuck up about this, by the way, go, Fergie only got 2 Champions Leagues in 20-odd years. Well, for starters, the fact that if you didn't win the Premier League or the First Division and you got into the Champions League, it only came in the late 90s, yeah? You had to be the champions up until the mid-90s. So we weren't only... Not only was we only getting in a couple of years in that time, it wasn't like when they snuck in 04 and 07 and in ourselves in 98 coming second, we snuck in and managed to get to a Champions League final. Like, we weren't the champions of England at the time, and they weren't the champions of England at the time, because the Champions League was something different, and it's become something different. At the time, it was a lot like we went to Honved, and it was hard. Because of the foreigner rule, because of the inexperience.
Knocks us out, mate. You know, use it that game at Old Trafford. I was at that game at Old Trafford as a little kid. But these
I won't pretend to be a kid that went to somewhere obscure in Eastern Europe.
That you'd have to be crazy to do that.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, and neither would I. But it was at the game at Old Trafford for Galatasaray, and they were a very good team, and we should have beaten. But we had, like you say, I can't remember. I think Lee might have scored an own goal. I might be misremembering it, but forgive me. The only ones I disagree with you on what you've said. I don't actually disagree in the top three you've got. I'm all about it. I would swap 99 for 208, and I'll just tell you why. I get where you're coming from, Ballon d'Or.
3 beats 2.
Yeah, I get where the trophy, not just the trophy though as well, Steve, which you can win a treble, right? And you can have easy rounds. You can have a draw where you can rest a few. We didn't have any easy games in the FA Cup.
No,
we didn't have any easy games in the Champions League.
99 side's my favourite side.
Yeah, I know you're not like, we're splitting hairs.
I'm talking about two of my children here.
Yeah,
who's
exactly.
my favourite of them? And I might have a favourite, but I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Yeah.
Not on camera anyway.
Yeah, I'm the same. Otherwise, it'll upset Ellis and Lily. I'm joking. Yeah, so like you look at, we had the Scouts in the fourth round of the FA Cup. We had Chelsea. We had Arsenal en route to the final. In the Champions League,
double winners Arsenal.
Tell me about the Champions League group in '99.
Oh, you might have heard of Bayern Munich.
German team.
Yeah, German team.
Won the Bundesliga.
Oh, let me tell you about Bayern Munich actually, because I found out their badge during the war. Wow.
I'm scared now. I don't like it when you go down these routes.
They've done well covering that shit up.
Right,
Let's just say that. From 1938, which was pre the war,
yeah,
to 1945, and I can't remember what maybe happened and changed their mind in 1945, their badge was a Nazi swastika which said Bayern Munich on it.
Right.
I'm not even kidding. That's mental, Jay. How have they washed that up?
I mean, they haven't, obviously, because we're talking about it, but I know that in Germany, they have obviously a real sort of... It's weird for them because they have to acknowledge what went on with the Nazis. They don't deny it. They don't hide it as a country, but they can't exactly embrace it or revel in it or be proud of it and go, this used to be our badge. Look, so it's a sort of tricky line. I'm not defending that by any stretch of the imagination, obviously, but it's what do you do? Do you go, oh, did you know, by the way, this used to be our badge? In fact, we might put a little one on the sleeves to just a reminder. Is that all right? Oh no, what's that? We're banned from. Oh right, okay. Sorry, my bad. So it's weird, isn't it?
I consider myself like quite well up on like random useless football knowledge, and that came across like a fish to the chops yesterday.
It's weird, isn't it? Because that there's a lot of Nazi stuff that went on in the 30s, and I think there's a picture of the England team doing this Nazi salute,
they did,
which obviously a lot of those players actually were fighting in the war a few years after that against Nazis. So it is a weird one, but yeah. Apart from their history with National Socialist emblems, they were a very good football team in the 90s, and the only other team that was around that level was probably Barcelona, who were also in our fucking group.
Yeah. And Juventus.
And Juventus, who we played in the semis. Oh, and actually, if you want to throw another one in, a team that was pretty much feared by everyone was Inter Milan, and we played them in the quarters.
Oh, you mean with original Ronaldo and Zamorano? Yeah.
It's just like, that is literally like 3 of the greatest club sides ever en route to the final. And that's what we had to do. And we did it, and we didn't just do it. We did it with a style of football and an attacking way that's just the way when people say the United way. When I think United way, I think of that 99 team.
Yeah.
It was wingers, it was everyone involved. It was almost like total football. You had Irwin, you had Gary Neville getting forward from full back.
Stam scored against Leicester.
Fucking Yap Stam, mate. Greatest defender I've ever seen. Don't at me. So yeah, it was just
and hard and all.
Oh mate,
how hard was it?
He was. Oh mate, he was. Yeah.
I think there needs to be more intimidation in football.
Do you know what I hate in football? I know what you mean. When it kicks off, and when people kick off, and they're not really kicking off. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll go
2016 derby at the
wait till
Etihad.
people get involved, and then
It's
they get
gone
all
off
brave.
after a late tackle. And
Yeah.
Jesse Lingard and Marcus, 18-year-old Marcus, have steamed in. Love it. Love that they're backing each other up. But I'm hitting both of you with one open hand and you're both going down. Like,
I love Jesse in that. Love Jesse. He's right in there for his boy, innit?
yeah. And he's
always
built
loved
like a
Jesse
child.
Lingard. I know.
Like,
Was it Di Michaelis? Do you remember?
remember who it was that
Because
booted
Di
off.
Michaelis should have given away a penalty. So to cover his tracks, because he's took Marcus down, to cover his tracks, he's kicked off. You know when you commit a foul and you kick off like, oh, he's dived. And the referee's boys, he didn't give a penalty, which I'm kind of glad about in a way because it meant Marcus got the winner. Obviously, in retrospect, it wasn't at the time. And Jesse's just gone straight in there. And if you've seen the size of Jesse Lingard to Di Michaelis, it's like you say, it's man against boy. But he's having none of it. You're like, you come for Marcus, you come for me, and I love all that. Who would be next, right? In your top three, this is all-time Premier League winners. So 93, 94, so we've disagreed slightly on the top two, but I don't think we're massively apart from each other. And it's not one I'm, a hill that I'm going to die on. I understand where you're coming from. I agree with you, third place, 93, 94, for the reasons we spoke about. Who's fourth? Don't smirk, come on.
I don't know when a non-Man United team gets in this.
Right, well, we'll keep going until it
Probably
does.
one gets above the
But we don't need to
2003
keep.
team.
I'll tell you
which
what,
the Scousers decided to
we'll
go
keep
for.
going until we run out of United teams, then we'll stop.
All right.
Who's fourth?
96.
I'm not smirking because it's true. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be true?
An absolute winning machine, led by Eric Cantona. Like the painting at the National Football Museum dictates, Cantona resurrected. That was an unbelievable team. Won a double.
That's it, right. Let's put it into perspective now.
And
because
couldn't have won the Champions League because at the time, I think we was in the
yeah, 95 we didn't win.
UEFA Cup.
Yeah, and you weren't allowed in back then, as you spoke about earlier. It wasn't until 98, 99 that teams that didn't win the Champions League were allowed in the Champions League. Didn't win the title, were allowed in the Champions League in England. So 95, 96. Like,
no, Schmeichel scored against Volgograd.
I was at that game, and I told you, I thought we were through. So I carried on celebrating when everyone stopped. Because I was in this, I can't remember.
Yeah, get up, you dick.
Yeah, and I was like 14. And I was like, yeah, going mad. And everyone had stopped celebrating. And I'm like, and then this bloke next to me went, no, we need another one, mate. And I was like, fuck, But I remember a lot of people buzzing because it kept up our like unbeaten home record in Europe. I don't think we've been beaten ever in Europe until then or something stupid.
Fenerbahce beat us 1-0. It was like a 40-year record, went down the pan.
Is that what it was? Sorry,
my
forgive me.
dad was fucking never seen him
about
as mad
40
in his
years
life
then.
about
Yeah,
that.
40-year record.
That was
about
something
the whole
that
time.
he held on to, dear. He's like, AC Milan have been here, Real Madrid have been here. Like, we don't fucking lose at home. And
again, that's a testament to not just the facts of how good Busby was and things like that, but also that you didn't play in Europe twice a fucking month. Yeah. You played like 4 times a season.
So fourth 96.
Yeah, but again, just quickly on that, I don't think people can fully understand if you're from a certain age that what United did that season, right, would be like us now selling Bruno, Pogba, and Maguire.
Well, no,
All right,
because it was 3 world-class players.
All right. Pogba, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Pogba, Bruno, and Rashford. Selling those 3.
Similar.
Yeah, literally. Replacing them with Diallo, Shoretire, and I don't know,
Galbraith.
McNeil. Galbraith.
And then winning a double.
Yeah. And it was that we'd not won the league the season.
Actually, no, we didn't sell Bruno. Bruno's banned.
Yeah, Bruno, even better. Yeah, you're right. Bruno's banned. Because Eric Cantona's banned. We've just not won the league. We've lost it to Blackburn, who've got loads of money and are continuing to spend it.
Oh, and by the way, Jay, we were outspent in the 90s when we were 2 points, because on goal difference we were well better. We were 2 points away from winning an extra 2 titles, which would have given us 7 titles on the spin.
Don't start me on this shit, mate. It depresses me.
Well, that was just in the 90s.
I know.
If you had the ball up, it would have been
I know you're gonna go.
9 on the spin.
You're going to mention the offside, aren't you? And the drawing one where we drew.
No, because that's a later date. But I'm just
But no,
talking
it's
about the domination in the 90s. But we were outspent by Newcastle.
Go on.
I'm going to shock you here. Newcastle.
Doesn't shock me.
Liverpool.
Doesn't shock me.
Tottenham.
That shocks me. I'll give you that one.
And City.
Surely Blackburn as well.
City, mate, they got relegated.
But but don't you remember when we were kids? City used to spend loads of money on crap. Like, do you remember when they bought like Keith Curle and Terry Phelan for like £5 million each? Not each, sorry, between them. Like the most expensive defence in the Premier League, and then nearly got relegated with it.
Well, eventually got relegated.
Yeah, well, they did get relegated with it. Yeah, Michel Vaughan can play as like that. I miss that City. That City was ace, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Shit.
It was shit, mate. Real shit.
Mate, they fought King
like Alan Kernigan and players.
Here's the
like
thing,
that.
right? They've had some belting players like De Bruyne, like Silva, right? But the 3 or 4 Blues of a certain age that were there, that still hold a torch for King Clancy, fucking turn it in your dick. Like, King Clancy was about as good as Jemba, maybe not even.
He just scored, right? He scored like 2 worldies, didn't he? Like, in his career, probably.
Yeah, he did some of them, like, dribble from the halfway line.
Against, like, Derby County, or whatever it was. And they dined on that because he didn't have anything.
I think he scored about 11 in Division 1, and they all thought he were mint. Comes to the Prem, scored like 3.
Yeah. Do you remember they had that chant, didn't they? And all the runs that Kinky makes are winding. Do you remember all the City fans and all the goals that
like,
Uwe scores are blinding?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both his goals, sure.
After you're my Alan Ball, that was it. So the Sheena Wonderwall.
City outspent us in the 90s.
I'm surprised at that.
And United were 2 fucking points off winning like 7.
Did Blackburn not outspend us then?
I think when they
They
sold
went
Shearer,
Dewey.
their net spend probably got switched up.
That's a good point. Because they bought a lot of players early 90s, didn't they? And then by the end of the 90s, Jack Walker had given up and they started selling everyone. And also, inflation meant you were getting big money for the players you bought for less money.
So, 5th team, 2009.
Yes, can see why. I'm going to be honest with you, though, mate. I'm veering towards 2000.
Not a bad one.
And I know where you're coming from, 2009. I just think there's the element of it was great, it's entertaining, it's a fantastic team. You've got Ronaldo, you've got Tevez, you've got Wayne Rooney. But I felt like there was quite a few towards the end of that season, poor performances where individuals got us out of jail a little bit. Makeda, Tevez. Rooney. And
no, 2000, no, we got bombed out by, was it Real Madrid?
Oh, no, yeah, but, I mean, that was the Roy Keane Real Madrid thing, wasn't it?
Stunk that. But I'll tell you what doesn't stink, Jay.
Go on, dance done.
Manscaped's refined.
Tell me more.
Well, I will tell you more when I get the read up.
All right, you can drop the attitude as well, thank you.
What do you mean with attitude? I wake up with this attitude.
I know, but it's, doesn't mean it's okay.
Listen, everyone knows that Manscaped has got the perfect package 3.0.
Yeah.
For all your below the waist grooming.
Yep.
And we're allowed out soon.
Yippee.
So not for me, I'm married.
No.
Not for you, because you might as well be.
Yeah.
But if you're not married, you need to be trimming your spuds ahead of their coming out party.
Well, do you know what, though? Even if you are married.
Consensually coming out party.
Yeah. Even if you are married.
Don't just whip them out.
Bit
Be
of
in
a
jail
treat.
for 3 o'clock.
Bit of a treat for you better half.
Yeah,
Why
bit of
not?
a treat. And also, the weather's getting warmer.
Do you know what I mean? Makes sense.
But with the same signature scent that is in all of Manscaped's formulas, the cologne is the perfect complement to the collection. It's light, it's approachable, and it's gentlemanly in all the right ways. Like talking up your spuds. It's gentlemanly in all the right ways. Think of this as the wingman for the night out to keep you fresh and ready for anything. Because trust me, Jay, you're not going to be ready for anything when Boris gives that starting pistol a go and it's carnage in Stevenson Square.
Is this so? This
Not
is
letting us out till June.
right.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah, it's going to be.
You
hot.
need to smell good.
Is this why you've been smelling a bit nicer
I
lately?
smell sensational, Jay.
Recently, you do. Is this because of refined?
Might be.
Right. Okay.
The beautifully designed glass bottle makes a statement, and the manly scent is attractive to set the mood. And look at that. It is a nice little bottle as well. And now you can use new Manscaped Refined Cologne to complete your set and smell great anywhere, anytime. It's time to feel sexy. You're going to book in a haircut. You're not going to look like some sort of extra from Wild Man of Borneo. You're going to get fresh. You're going to get trim. You're going to look good, smell good, and booze good. But you need to make sure you smell good.
Do you know what?
Get 20% off and free shipping if you go to manscaped.com. Use the code Howson20, like 20 times. Howson20, Howson 20. Your balls and your body will thank you. I thank you. So 20% off, free shipping. Get in the mix.
Love it. That's the 1999 of colognes.
Or 2008.
Or 2008, depending on who you ask. Go on, what were you saying then? 2009 you had, and I had 2000, didn't you?
Yeah.
I just felt there was a little bit smash and grabness that went on in 2009. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind winning games
It's a
like
team
that.
that got to a Champions League final, Jay.
I get it, and I know where you're coming at. I know where you're coming from. You know, we could have won the treble that season.
Where we go out in the quarters against Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think it was the quarters against Real Madrid in 2000. 2009, you're right. We got to the final. We won was it FA Cup? We got to FA Cup. Was it semis in that year? Was it? Or I can't remember what I remember. The FA Cup. We won the League Cup against Spurs on penalties. I remember that one. I went to that one.
We don't even count that.
I know.
It was a double.
I know.
City would have called it. Did they come up with a new word?
God. Yeah. Didn't we win like? Well, we won pre-season trophies. Well, didn't we win the World Club Cup and all that? So yeah, they would have been like the quintuplets and all that drivel.
We didn't win the Super Cup, did we? We lost to Zenit.
We've already done that though in 91, didn't we? The most important season in the history of football.
Black shorts, black socks.
And did you see what happened when we won that trophy?
Yeah.
Did you see what Fergie did? Go on, do what you be Fergie. Do what you did when you won it. Yeah. What he didn't do was sprint 80 yards across the pitch to dive on his teammates or his players.
I think
like
he might have gone
whopper because it's a friendly.
Oh, sorry, 8.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Back in at 9 a.m. You little bastards.
Yeah. I mean, come on, levels. So I'm gonna pip for 2000. It's close. I'll give you that, and I get where you're coming from. The standard was great, and obviously Ronaldo and all the others. But I just felt in 2000, over 2000. I think
Where's
2000,
the first non-United winners, and who is it? Because for me, 98 Arsenal.
But why are you not counting the team that drew 12 times and lost 6 times in the season overall?
Because the 98 one won twice, 2 trophies, and they were better.
What, they were a better team than the most overrated Premier League team in the history of association football?
Correct, Jay.
They had better players.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the likes of Emmanuel Petit, for example, was better than some of the players that the 2004 team had?
Yeah, I prefer the Petit and Vieira sort of over Perez diving.
Yeah.
Portsmouth.
Interesting one, that. Yeah, really fascinating.
I actually maybe put the 04 one on par-ish with their 2002 side.
It's almost like you've watched those teams and you watched them a lot of the time and have made a decision based on that rather than looking at a piece of paper to say which one lost the fewest amount of games in the Premier League.
It's a ballsy strategy, actually, having my own knowledge of this rather than just fucking sorting Wikipedia by who had the most points.
I don't know. It won't take off, mate. You're never going to get a job at GQ with that attitude.
I think Chelsea's side in 04 probably comes just underneath the 98 Arsenal side.
You made a good point earlier, and I want to go back to it slightly. Because you said there Chelsea team, and I'd have Chelsea team over any Arsenal team, and I'll tell you why. The most difficult thing for any title challenging team or title winning team to do is
retain it.
Thank you, it is. It just is.
So where does that City team that got like 100 points sit?
Well, they retained it, didn't they?
Yes,
yeah. So that's a fair comment, because let's not be completely stupid about it. So I'd put them above any Arsenal team. I would, that City team, because Arsenal have never retained the Premier League.
Okay.
So everyone can have a one-hit wonder. Leicester can win the league. Can you retain it? No. So, and look how difficult the Scousers are finding it to retain it now. They can't even get in the top 4. So you can forget about Arsenal in your top 10 for starters. That's not even I'm not having that as part of the conversation.
What's the worst United win?
It pains me, right? Because I don't like saying this, because you're using the word worst in talking about a team that I love and players that I love.
What's the bottom ranked?
Yeah. I know where you're coming from. I'm not having a dig here, but it just is. I would have to say the 97 team. Purely because.
Fuck off, Jay.
Purely because.
That's him.
I know. Well, I know, and I love Eric, and it's his last ever season. I get it, and I'm not having to dig at him personally. He was still one of the best players ever, but in terms of United champions, that league, we won it, and we had to win it, and you have to beat the teams in front of you. But it was garbage. A lot of the teams.
Was it worse than 2003?
The only reason...
Jay, we won a fucking title with Roy Carroll in net.
The only reason...
We won a title with Roy Keane at centre-half for all you Scousers crying about playing people with defensive attributes in defence.
I know, but the only thing with 2003 where I've got a bit of a soft spot for it is Arsenal were walking away with it and everyone had given up on United, and we came back from the dead to just overtake them and win it with the likes of... I get where you're coming from, like John O'Shea.
Zaha, Forlan, O'Shea, Sylvester, I think. Would have been Sylvester. Quinton Fortune. These are not greats of the game.
Yeah, but let's not pretend here, mate, as well. In 2003...
Midfields with Phil...
I don't know, but 2003... I remember, I think it was at St. James's where he was ridiculous, mate.
Anyway...
So I'm not having it 2003.
Anyway.
There's no point. It's a loaded question.
97 was well better than 03.
No, I'm not. I disagree on that one. I do. I'm sorry, mate. I'm just like 2003 wasn't a bad team. You actually look like it's like, oh, that was it
on paper, but we never played that team.
No, but
we had no Rio basically.
But towards the end of that season, when all these players came back, is when that team flew and caught Arsenal up, who started dropping points when it looked like we were dead and buried, and then came back to win it. 1997. I love Eric and I love the players in that team. Do you know what I mean? It's the class of '92 again.
But it was also Liverpool's Spice Boys when they was meant to be on the fucking peep, and we just.
Mate, we ended them. We ended that conversation in the '96 FA Cup final when they all turned up in white suits.
So you think '97's our worst title win?
It's one of them.
But it's in the '90s.
I know, mate. I know.
I'd
still have that team over.
And it started in the greatest year of the
I'm
decade.
only putting 2 Premier League teams above that '97 team. By the way.
What you mean below it?
No, there's only 2 non-United teams above that '97 team.
All right, okay.
That's it.
Which is
The ones that retained it.
so Chelsea in the mid-noughties.
Yeah.
That City team.
Yeah,
Solid.
that's it.
Because again, that team was a point off Arsenal the following season.
Exactly.
And 2 seasons before was a point off Blackburn.
Yeah.
From fucking 7, well, it would have been 9 consecutive titles.
That's what I'm
9
saying to you.
consecutive
That's what I'm saying
titles.
to you, mate. This
Make
is
it
what
look
I'm
like
talking
fucking
about.
Scotland.
Hey.
And he didn't spend anything.
Do you know what else as well? Why I've got a little bit of a soft spot for the 2003 team, because we did 3 in a row. The first time we did 3 in a row, wasn't it? Not the second time. It's difficult to keep track sometimes, isn't it?
Sometimes I don't even know how many trophies we've won.
No. 99, 2000, 2001. 2001.
I'll be honest, it got boring.
Fergie lost his marbles,
won
didn't
another-
he? He said, "This isn't fair, so I'm going to get rid of Yapstam."
Yeah.
Even it up a
And do you
bit.
know what? I'm going to call it a day.
Yeah.
And that's why Arsenal's 02 team won the title.
Yeah.
Because Fergie was like already picking out villas in my bed.
And having maybe a couple of bottles of red wine. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. A day, yeah. That sort of thing, perhaps. We don't blame him. He can do what he wants. He's Fergie. Arsenal won the league by default because we let him have it. And then...
Just keep it interesting.
Yeah. And then they started running away with it in 2003. People thought, oh, United's era of dominance is over now. This is the time of Arsene Wenger and Arsenal. And Fergie went, actually, no. Scholes, come on, son, sort this shit out.
Yeah.
And we won the league again.
We'll get that Portuguese fella.
Yeah.
We'll get that
Yeah.
little dickhead from Everton. And I'll start to rebuild another team and just win another 3 in a
Yeah,
fucking
there you
row.
go. That's that job done. Thank you. So yeah, I do, but it's a decent debate. Even those teams have got a lot to love about them, haven't they? Even the ones that we don't rate as
And
high
here's
as
the thing,
others, there's always some.
Like, the league isn't getting better. The league is doing this, and it's provable. You can see the points 20th place got back in the day versus what they're getting now. Every team from like the bottom half is losing points on average, and the teams in the top are taking more points on average. That tells you the league's less competitive than it's ever been, and that's because of the sheer money at the top end. Like the first Premier League season, the spend at the top versus the spend at the bottom, there wasn't hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions difference.
No.
There might have been a couple of million difference, and that's why the league is competitive. It's like the Championship. The Championship is a competitive league. It's just quite simple. American sports are competitive because they're communist as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you come bottom, you get the first pick of the next academy player coming through. Like, that's the game. Whereas in English football, and it's killed Italian football by Juventus running away with it. Scottish football's been fucking irrelevant for decades because just 1 or 2 teams wins it. English football somehow, in the period of dominance that United had, still managed to keep competitiveness, which is mad. And even Spanish football, there's 3 relevant teams in Spanish football. And it's not like if you put Southampton into La Liga, they'd be a hell of a team. They're not winning it.
No.
But they're probably 6 or 7 places higher than where they are in the Prem. The Prem's minging, and the intensity of it is killer. And there's a reason people are going to like Germany and Italy and looking like absolute worldies, and they come to the Prem and they just look ordinary.
Yeah.
And I think the intensity of the football, not necessarily more skillful, not necessarily more high quality.
Yeah.
It's just fucking madness. And it's hard to look great amongst madness, which is when you get someone who stands out above them. Well, they could play anywhere.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, 100%. There's a question here that we've been posed to us. Where would you rank Liverpool? It's easy, this one, to know which Liverpool team I'm talking about because we've only won the Premier League once, so you don't have to ask me which team I'm talking about.
Which Liverpool Premier League winners was it?
Well, it's the one. Is it the ones Oh yeah, it's that one, the one from 1920.
The one that never got a parade.
Yeah.
It's my favourite Liverpool title win.
Do you reckon they'll still have the parade? Or they don't? They said they were going to do it, didn't they?
I'm going.
Do you know what the really sad thing about this is the sort of gutting thing is, but it's funny that they're not going to retain the title, but it's just annoying that it's going to be City. Do you know what I mean?
There's not enough City fans to make a fucking noise.
That's a very good point.
So
where would you rank the Scouts team? Genuinely now, objectively.
Well, they're not in the top 10 of Premier League winners.
Good
Fact.
job. Yeah, but they're not.
So who cares? I'm not sad enough to rank all fucking 28 title wins.
I think
they're not going to do it by fucking points won.
The benchmark, right, for the teams, the top tier teams, right, the top sort of 1 or 2 teams, you win the Champions League and you win the title in the same season. That's what you do. That's like the creme de la creme. Also, you go on and retain the title. That's it. Also, you postcode's M16 and you've got 76,000 fans. I think that helps. But no, you've got those are the sort of things.
That's the criteria?
Yeah, that's criteria. You retain it and you also win the Champions League.
You're in Manchester.
Yeah. Second below that is you're at least retaining it. That's where you're like, okay, you've won it. You know, you've kept hold of your title. You've done it twice in a row or 3 times in a row as we've done. Below that, what you're looking at? What's the criteria then? If you're not retaining it, you've not won over trophy. Maybe the double. You've got the double, yeah? The FA Cup and the Premier League double.
That's why I put the 98 Arsenal side in there.
That's fair
Didn't
enough.
retain it, but
you know, they've won the double, which I think, 96, we won the double. Fantastic achievement.
they're up against the second greatest United side.
Exactly. So below winning the double then is probably what you win the league and a League Cup or something else.
Yeah, or you've retained it a couple of times.
Yeah. So you've done something there. Then below that...
That's why you like your 2000 side and that comes in.
Yeah. Then below that is you've just won it as a one-off. I'd say you've won it as a one-off against all odds without spending hardly any money. So I put Leicester there. Yeah, because I think that's a proper fairy tale achievement. No one saw it coming. Nearly got relegated and win the title.
Going from nearly getting relegated to winning.
That's ridiculous.
It's mental.
That's stupid.
It's absolutely mental.
Come on, 5,000 to 1 and all that on the odds.
It will never happen
No,
again.
it won't. You're right. So they're the top of the singular winners. Then maybe below them you put the City team that won 100 points. Is that it? Is that the one? Or did they? No, they retained it, didn't they? So no, before that as a one-off. Are you going to go with the Arsenal team that drew 12 times?
The achievements, the winning.
I know, but below
I'm
this
not
is where-
ranking the bottom 10.
Right, okay.
Fuck them.
Right, okay. Well, I would.
Here's your prize. You've got a title.
Yeah. I would.
That's it.
I would put the Arsenal team just above the Scousers in
22 says football wasn't invented in
27th.
1992. I didn't write the article, mate. I also only started going in 1990. So if you want to throw in Leeds and was it fucking Liverpool?
Hang on a minute. No. Football wasn't invented in 1992. It wasn't. That's a fair comment. But this is a Premier League thing, which was invented in 1992.
Yeah.
So otherwise, we're just going to get into Division 1 thing, which is a completely different.
Otherwise, do you want me sitting here arguing about how good United's 1908 team is? I ain't got a fucking clue. I don't know anyone who knows anyone who would have half a clue.
I'll tell you something. United's 1908 team was better than the Scousers last year. That's a fact.
And I remember the guy who's top scorer, Sandy Turnbull.
And he was better than Salah.
Well better than Salah.
Mate.
Well better.
100%.
Played in a rugby shirt.
Anyone who says different is an idiot.
Mate. Waltzing Matilda says, in fairness to the Liverpool team, they have won the European Cup.
What?
Not in the year that they won the fucking league, they didn't. Those Arsenal, Chelsea and City teams didn't.
Right, Steve, do me a favour, yeah? Don't ever start a sentence on this podcast with "in fairness to Liverpool"
Oh,
ever
I've
again.
written a quote out.
What is wrong with you?
Where'd you put, this is an interesting one. What the fuck happened in the 70s? Because any English team that fucking got a plane ticket to Europe fucked it. You had Forest winning. So if you don't know this, and I'm not lying, so you can Google it, Nottingham Forest won 1 top division title. How many European Cups did they have, Jay? Duh. Fucking what?
Mate, Villa, right? I was watching a documentary the other day on Villa when they won the European Cup, as you do when you're Aston Villa. And they went to this ground, and it was like the semis or something. And the commentator was on this documentary said, I didn't have anywhere to sit, so I sat in a dugout with the manager. I was like, what? And he was like, it showed you, and it looked like it was Altrincham versus Yeovil or something. And he was like, yeah, so I asked the manager, can I sit next to you? And he was like, yeah, go on then. It's like, this isn't non-league. This is a European Cup semi-final, man.
United
What's going on?
68 win. We played like a fucking team from Cyprus.
Yeah.
Obviously, we played
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, which isn't an inconsiderate fucking feat to go to
No,
the
it's
Bernabeu
not.
to beat them. We played Benfica, who were pretty good in the final. And who was the other team we played? Was it Glentoran?
The ones I know
It's
about
Hibernian
are
from
Real Madrid.
From like Malta. Sorry,
Real Madrid
Malta,
and
not Cyprus.
Benfica.
Yeah.
Right.
So we played some decent teams. Like, I think Liverpool won one by beating Malmo.
There's one where they go. There's one where some of the teams they played no longer exist.
Didn't like Graham Souness score 10 goals in
Yeah,
the runs
there's one where, and I think it's FC Bruges is the first team I recognise, and that's the only one I really recognise. And they won the European Cup. It's like
because it seemed like there was a time, wasn't there, when it was just back-to-back English winners in the late 70s. Just back-to-back, absolutely wiped the floor of it.
The thing is, United, it's like we sort of did it the wrong way around. We won the title. It's like loads of titles when it was more harder than ever, more difficult than ever to win the Champions League. And Liverpool and Forest or Villa or whoever won it at a time when it was, it's not easy, but it was easier to win a European Cup. So I think Joe's got the info there. Yeah. So we had Real Madrid in the semi-finals. We had
Gornik, from Poland.
Sarajevo in the second round and Hibernians.
Yeah, from Malta.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 games there to win the time. Imagine that now. 5 games don't get you out of the group. It's mad, that, isn't it?
2 legs.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 2 legs. Good point. So how many games is that? 6. Is it only 2 legs for the semis?
Yeah.
6 games then. In total.
Where are United's last winners? 2013. Wasn't a vintage year, mate.
Oh, do you know what though? You might not like this, especially because he's your mate, and you're going to argue with me now. I don't know. And don't tell him because then he might argue that I look stupid because I can't argue with him about it.
I'm gonna film it.
Yeah. No. I think, and this is good, I'm going to get loads of stick for this, especially if you do what I think you'll do. I think 2012, 2013, not just Robin Van Persie, obviously, was amazing. I think that was Real's best season for us.
No.
I do. He was amazing that season.
No, there was a patch of probably from about 05, I think. He come back from the ban. I think he was unplayable for about 5 years.
We weren't as reliable then during some of that time as we were. And also,
he was good because he only played at weekends.
Yeah, players around him.
We rested him.
2012-13, he led that defence, man. He did. In a way that, in 2000, I know that period you're talking about, but that was a solid back 5. It was.
But I thought that was his best performance.
Do you know what I mean?
07, 08.
2012-13, I just thought he was so reliant on him, and he just led it, and he bossed it so well that I just think I think it goes under the radar that season for him, because everyone just goes on and on about Robin Van Persie. And I think to a lesser degree, people will hate this even more than the real comment. Rooney picking up the slack when Van Persie tailed off gets overlooked. Van Persie went 10 games without a goal. People forget that. I'm not dissing him because the guy won us a title. But when he did, Wayne Rooney, who wasn't having a vintage season by any stretch, stepped up and got some important goals.
It's a team sport.
Yeah, and it's like people just go, Robin Van Persie won him that single-handedly.
I think you'll find David Hay was pretty fucking good that year.
That's what I mean, man. It was very much, I thought it was a very good performance from him. I thought a good performance from Rio and a good performance from Rooney. Sorry, Joe's got some stats up there. What's that? I can't see it. Sorry, what was that? Is it 16 goals? Yeah, 16 goals, 14 assists in all competitions, 12 goals in the Premier League.
Contributions.
12 goals and 10 assists in the Premier League in that season, in 27 games.
So
Do you know
30
what I mean?
goal contributions in 37 games. Elite.
And people go, Wayne Rooney was shit for the last 10 years at United.
Never reached his potential. I mean, what the fuck is that? Because for me, it was a shade under the best player in the world a few times.
Oh, no.
A few different years.
Just them. Those two people, what is it, Cristiano Summit and Lionel Summit, just got in the way.
I'm taking Rooney, me.
Oh, for what?
Not
Go
gonna
on, say it out loud. Come on, I've said the Rio thing.
Right, I'll take Rooney
which is
over
going to be
Messi.
embarrassing because you'll probably tell him and he'll tell me I'm wrong.
Does he mean he's a better player? No.
Are you taking Rooney over him?
Messi.
I love that. If that's not clipped up, you're doing something wrong. We're in trouble.
The reason I'm taking him over him is just I like him more. I don't think he's a better player. Like, I'll take loads of players that I don't think are better. Attitude goes a long way with me, and I think Messi's a miserable little fucking slapped ass. I got Rio with it the other day though. When he was talking about Sterling winning headers, I was like, fucking Messi beat you for it.
Oh God, don't remind us. But I thought his reply to that was quite good. But you said it wasn't meant as a joke. Like, it wasn't meant as a put down. Was it in the Champions League final? But it's just,
He said so he wants me to argue with him more on the podcast.
Fucking hell.
So
Tell him he can come and sit on here every week.
I'm not what I'm going to do. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Greatest defender I've ever seen. It's not going to go well, is it?
To be fair, yeah.
There's some people's opinion you have to go, I have to defer to your opinion.
I love the fact as well. He'll say that to you, and you'll be like, "I don't really want to do that. Come on, all right, then I'll do it." You'll do it, and then people clip up going, "Look at fucking Howson," thinking he knows more than Rio.
I might go overboard.
Yeah.
With it. I might actually say, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Rio."
Have you ever managed a team? Like I have.
Not even finish his badges.
Exactly. Hey. So yeah, I think right. Just to recap, just before we go.
I'm not saying he's better. I'm saying I'd have him over him.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Versatility. The versatility, aggression. Like I said to you, I love violence, Jay. I'm taking a fucking loon over. Like, my team's got Cantona and Rooney and Keane in it. We're fucking fighting you. Not having this little fucking slapped ass fucking wet nose.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend just to agree that I would have Wayne Rooney over Lionel Messi. I wouldn't. I can understand where you're coming from because I love Wayne Rooney. I think he's very underrated, but I wouldn't have him over Lionel Messi. But you know, there's other opinions that I've got there.
Daryl's there. Come on, let's be honest.
Unpopular.
Ronaldo and Messi banged in Rooney's best season. 34 goals. Ronaldo got 60 and Messi got 70. Cool. Would you ever fight one of them in your kitchen?
By that rationale, David Bardsley is the best. Yeah.
I'll put me right back.
Phil Bardsley, David Bardsley. What about Phil Bardsley? Thank you.
Bardsley.
No,
It's like I said, I don't think Wayne Rooney's a better player, but I like what Rooney brought.
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, you've got to love Rooney. He always got stuck in. He always produced the goods as well. In some big games as well, let's not forget that. And like I said, you know, in that season, even the seasons where you don't think he was that good, if you actually scratch beneath the surface, he was. And he, you know, it's like the 08 season. Everyone goes on about Ronaldo, and rightly so. But look at those iconic goals. You know, the counter-attacking goals and things like that. How many of them is Rooney involved in? Look at the final. People forget what a performance he put in the final. People go, that final, that 1-1 draw with Chelsea, Ronaldo's header.
Would I have Joey Barton in my team? No, I like nutters who can play.
Yeah, not just thugs.
Cantona could play.
Yeah.
Roy Keane could fucking play. Don't listen to some people who put Darren Fletcher ahead of him.
Well,
Wayne Rooney could play.
People.
These could fucking play. These are players. You know, Brian Robson. Brian Robson's hard.
Of course, he's nails, mate.
Right?
You're mad.
But he can play.
Of course he can.
So that's why you're having fucking Stam. Rio sort of suffered a little bit by Vidic was the sort of like match of the day fucking head anything kind of defender. But he's not a patch on Rio.
That's why Rio's better than John Terry. John Terry's flying into things because he's
John Terry was.
Stuff like that, man.
John Terry was a fucking EDL version of Micah Richards. Micah Richards was a pure match of the day defender. His bad positioning meant he had to make amazing looking tackles. You never seen Rio doing them. Do you know why? Because he's in the right fucking place.
I know. An EDL version.
When was...
We can't just let that one go. That's very good.
Like that.
Yeah.
What was the fucking World Cup?
No, it's the Euros 2012. No, you're right. It's the World Cup 2010 in South Africa.
No, I think it might have been 2014.
When he's diving on his head.
Who?
John Terry, is that what you're on about?
There was one fucking game. It might have been a Euros. When was the Euros?
2012 or 2016
What's 2016? Might have been 2016.
Right.
When did we play Italy?
We played them in the World Cup in 2010.
Was it 2016? I think it was against Italy. Fucking John Terry comes up for an header and just heads it straight up. And I'm like, is this fucking generational header of the ball?
Let's not forget as well, in the semi-final against Barca, when he needed Alexis Sanchez in the back, he got away with that one, didn't he? I know he got sent off, but he was lucky they won the Champions League or got through. And then he poses with all the photos.
You hate Scousers, but you love Rooney. Funny that. Well, yeah.
We don't hate all Scousers, just the ones that support Liverpool.
Yeah.
And he's an Evertonian, so even if he didn't play for United, we won't hate him.
Yeah.
Right. You put these comments you've picked today, mate. I haven't been your best. Right, recap. We're getting told, right? So, number one.
Fucking tell me what to do.
Number one. But I don't like the way you've gone with Steve's answer here.
Number 2, United.
Right,
number 3, United. Number 4, United. Where's the Scousers? Who fucking cares? They're not even in the top 10. So, probably in the bottom 10. And if they have to wait another 30 years, it'll be mint. And I'll see you at their parade.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said there. So, this has been Howson's Brew.
Oliver Edwards says, Steve, you are wrong. Messi has 0 Premier League goals. Rooney is the 3rd top scorer.
We'll see Messi next season, won't we? When City buy him for about 800 million quid or whatever it is, they're going to get him for.
Down to that if they do.
I think they will.
Van der Sar or Kepa?
What?
Are we asking about goalkeepers or who to fucking decorate my spare room? What the fuck kind of questions are that?
Van der Sar or Kepa? I would have Van der Sar now at his age now over Kepa now. I genuinely would.
Do you reckon he's meant?
Who? Van der Sar? 100%. Talk about reading a game. You don't even have to dive half the time.
No, I don't.
And he's not going to have lost that.
Did you see when?
Yeah, imagine Van der Sar 5-a-side.
Do you see when Rio was talking about what him and Van der Sar used to do? And we were sort of questioning whether these conversations happen in United change room at the moment.
Cool.
So Rio used to say, and I love this because it's honest, and Danny Higginbottom's the best at this by saying there has to be give and take on football pitches. If you want to block this, you're giving this, right? An example of that is Rio goes, when defending, when a striker's coming towards us, he goes, I know he's getting a shot off. I want him to shoot where I want him to shoot. So Rio would go, I'm going to come at him from an angle to make him think you're shooting this here.
Yeah.
But he's already had the conversation with Van der Sar that he says, when you see me shaped like this, I'm going to leave him 1 foot of the goal, 2 foot of the goal.
Yeah.
Being that fucking 2 foot.
Yeah.
He goes, do not worry about the ball coming back through me. If he megs me, if it comes back the other way, my fault.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to lead him this way.
Right.
You be there and we save it. Now, how many fucking games did they not concede a goal for?
14 on it, the record.
Broke the record.
Yeah.
And you just think, mate, you're fucking so elite. Those little things like that, you go, do you think Harry Maguire saying that to fucking Dave? And he said, Van der Sar's communication with him, he goes, it was constant. And he goes, it was real calm. He goes, he don't think he'd have liked Schmeichel and that kind of shit. He goes, it'd have rattled me that. It got right in my head. He goes, but Van der Sar was like, he called it airline pilot instructions. Joe, like very just calm, move left, move right, stop.
This is what I'm getting at though, mate. In 2013, how much of a leader he was as well, because you haven't got Van der Sar behind you doing that. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? You're having to take charge of that without Van der Sar behind you.
Well, I said, what's Dave like? And he said, don't talk.
That's what I mean. So you didn't have that. You had Rio sort of, because everyone gets caught up with the whole Vidic and you know whatever. But Rio, you know, you can argue all day long what his best season. He had so many, but that's why that season stands out for me, because I feel like he had to do that not on his own, obviously, but more so because we
Peter
didn't have
Butler in
Van
the
der
comments
Sar
says, so if United won the European Cup, usually, mate, if you put so if, you're wrong.
Right, go on.
And you've definitely got it by the wrong end of the stick. So if United won the European Cup next season and followed it up by win the league, you wouldn't consider it a great team. Don't be so bitter. Listen, fuckface. I didn't write the article. Some fucking work experience kid at GQ did. Right? I hope. And he's not taking into account any other achievements in the same season. So don't be bringing in fucking previous working out to start adding that to your fucking pile. We're talking, if this is what we're doing,
Go.
you can only work out what happened with them that season. Well, fuck them.
On that note, are you here on Sunday?
Might be.
Right. I am. Well, the viewers might want to know because we've got Chelsea, haven't we, out there? Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
It's a big game, that, Jay.
It is, mate. 6 points behind us, aren't they? How that's happened, I'll never know. But we're going to be here for the watch along. Steve's going to be here. Joe's going to be here. I'm going to be here. Andy Tate is going to be here. We'll have post-match reaction as well from Adam McCullough. I know a lot of you are asking about him, but don't worry, he's going to be back soon. So we'll be getting a reaction from him. So make sure you check it out. If you're not doing it already, make sure you're subscribing as well. And also, you might have noticed...
I got to finish.
I was going to plug something for you then, but go on.
Which United team was your favourite pre-Premier League, and why is it the 1991 European Cup Winners' Cup
You can answer that one.
Because winning that trophy laid the foundations for everything else that happened.
Not just at United, but in England, in English football.
In world football.
In world football.
Yeah.
Like, everyone before the game, at every Premier League game, should give a round of applause for the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup team. Because we're the same.
Are you playing Champions League football? Wouldn't have happened without us winning that.
Exactly. So that's why it's the greatest team. Not just pre-Premier League, but post-Premier League as well. You keep going on about some lad called Rio Ferdinand. What have you got coming up with him as well?
Do a podcast every Monday.
Every Monday?
Might be every Monday and Wednesday coming up soon.
And what's he's interviewing Pep or something?
Yeah, he's interviewing Pep and Diaz, but it won't be on our podcast.
Well, I hope not as well. Otherwise, you have to have a word. Go on,
apparently
quickly.
we forgot super chats. Joe, do you want to throw them up on the screen?
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. We don't aim to do that. Sometimes we get carried away shouting at each other. If you throw them up there, Joe, I'll read them out.
Forest versus Derby night says
right.
Tonight.
Crikey, we have. Yeah, I'll read these out. Right. Big Tony says Treble Team. End of. Disagree. I will block you.
Block your toilet, I think.
Block your toilet. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, I agree. That was my pick. Peter Kelly says, remember when Sky piped off Pep? He sounds like you. That's the sort of thing you say. Saying he won a quadruple with the domestic treble and charity shield, but laughed at Jose when he counted the shield. Very true, that. Anyone who counts the community shield, the charity shield, as a trophy needs to take a look at David Moyes' time at United and tell me David Moyes won a trophy at United. Umar Khan says, do you guys rate the Shankly and Paisley teams? I'm not going to lie to you, right? I don't know a lot about those teams. What I will say about them is, yes, they had some success, and I think Shankly laid the foundation there. There's no denying that. But if you ever listen to interviews with Bill Shankly, who tells you the greatest manager was, he'll always say Matt Busby. Jamie Usher, thoughts on making Lindelof a DM instead of a centre-back? I don't see that conversion's happening. I don't think that.
Why are you talking about modern football?
Jamie Usher spent £1.99 for that question.
You should know better.
Waltzing Matilda says, in fairness to the Liverpool team...
We read that one.
Oh, did we? Right, sorry. Neil McKernan. Is it McKernan?
Well.
Oh, sorry. We have read some of these. Apologies there for reading them twice. But thanks for your super chats. We do appreciate them. Sorry we didn't read them out straight away, but we had to sift through the shite that was that GQ article.
Honestly, I used to like GQ.
Did you? I did a bit for him once, for Mitten. Mitten was doing an article for him. He asked me to do a bit on racism and football. So they have got some good writers. Andy Mitten's a very tight writer.
Is he a permanent GQ staff?
No, I think he's a freelancer. I don't know. But whoever, obviously he didn't write that, as he would have lost all his points, wouldn't he? His journalism points.
Nick Govindan, ranking champions, screams a fan base that hasn't won a meaningful trophy in 8 years. I didn't do it.
We haven't won a meaningful trophy in 8 years. That's not true anyway, is it? But
looking at your profile picture.
Right, anyway. This has been Howson's Brew. Let's not go there.
Get a grip,
that's been maniac. Stephen Howson. I've been Jay Motte.
Listen, and stop tweeting, Joe, you're fat. It's not fair, right? However, I'll show you what he came into work looking like today. And if you want to say,
I think Joe's
listen,
going to smash it in what he's going to do, if he's got any sense.
All right, that was Joe this morning. Listen, he's going through a tough time. Just don't tweet him and tag me in it calling him fat. Don't do that.
Anyway, this has been Howson's Brew. I've been Jay. That's been Stephen Howson. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.